We are following breaking news from overnight. 2 children missing for nearly a year in Memphis have been found near Miami. The man arrested in this case was released from jail sometime today. He was actually just standing not too far from us. He exchanged a few words with us. President-elect Joe Biden addresses the nation as the Electoral College recognizes his victory. I want to go ahead and show you what's actually missing off of this area here. So this is what would normally be right here in front of this Accurate Tactical Supply. You can see some of the employees inside working right now. I have that 54-page document right here in my hand. So to sum it all up for you so you don't have to flip through these pages, we should really digest what you just said. 24 homicides involving children.
So you're regifting.
Yes,
for us.
regifting. Right. That's called regifting.
If we will receive another stimulus package by the end of the year is still kind of up in the air. What are your thoughts on what needs to happen to push this through? And I've been here for hours. I want to give you a look at what we've been seeing here for hours. So if you take a look at the middle of the court area here, these are members of the absentee counting team.
Look at that.
We'll need these.
We certainly will. And you make those look good.
Do I? We hate to bring you this story on this holiday, but authorities believe this explosion was actually an intentional act. So here's what we know so far. Did I read somewhere that you do not have a TV?
I don't, yeah.
Wait.
You took the words right out of my mouth. We can get there. $185,000. Yeah, it sounds like a lot, but I have faith in all of us. Okay. Y'all have to let us know.
Just
Social media. Do you eat mac and cheese on Thanksgiving? I do. Ty does not. Let us know. This is really quite the story. Before I get into exactly what happened, I want you to take a look at what's left here. Broken glass, a damaged roof, and a whole lot to clean up. Before the sun came up Wednesday morning, gun store owners of Accurate Tactical Supply were at work earlier than expected. A silent alarm alerted the police and the owners as 2 teenagers, 16 and 17-year-old boys, smashed into the store, causing quite the mess. Hours later, more hands were on deck, picking up the pieces destroyed by the would-be thieves. The teens ended up with nothing.
I know it's a gun store, so it's like, yeah, somebody's trying to get in and, get a quick, easy money target, I guess.
Memphis police say the boys stole a U-Haul truck and used it to back into the gun store, smashing through the front. When officers arrived, the 2 were hiding in the corner of the store's back room. One had possession of a gun while wearing a stolen tactical vest.
I feel bad for anybody in the city of Memphis, any small business, any big business who, gets violated like that.
Joe Casson is the longtime owner of a business next door. He knows the gun store owners and says what happened is unfortunate, but he's glad the burglars didn't get anything. Meanwhile, the owners didn't want to talk on camera, but wanted the public to know this. They are the ones that have to pay the price at the hands of someone else, one day before Thanksgiving. Reporting on Summer Avenue, Symone Woolridge, WREG, News Channel 3.
3 weeks to the day we got married. Never seen him before. Just saw him, fell in love with him, and 3 weeks later we were married.
After 66 years of marriage, Betty Cantrell and her husband Roy are still in love. But there's one big bump in the road that has Betty heartbroken.
It hurts. I want the same young boy I married, You just don't expect something like this to happen to you when you're so lively.
He is homebound, battling a few health issues, including cancer, and Betty takes care of him. In between running errands and attending to her husband, Betty is working, making masks to give to strangers.
I counted them at first. I knew that I gave away about 100, but after that I stopped counting.
She keeps them in her house, in her car, everywhere. When she sees someone without one, she always asks if they are in need. They aren't always perfectly cut.
See, I didn't even get that cut straight.
But they are perfectly crafted with love.
My favorite part is knowing I'm doing God's will. I do this because I care for people.
With themed colors and designs for kids.
They're 6 by 9 is what they are.
Betty makes about 5 masks in 45 minutes with her 30-year-old machine.
I don't like for the lining to show.
It is not just masks. Next to her fabric, she has handmade stuffed animals ready to give to kids in hospitals.
Anytime you do something for somebody else and they appreciate it, you don't always know whether they appreciate it or not, but
But she does it anyway. After sending them place to place, she says she hasn't received many thank you cards in response. But at the end of the day, she doesn't do it for recognition. She does it because she believes it's what God has called her to do. For some drivers, this is their normal commute down Highway 51 in Millington. But something, well, somewhat rather, is hard to miss. Maybe it's the heavy boots or the lime green crossing guard attire. Or maybe it's the contagious laugh and energy Linda Brown exhibits.
How was your weekend? Oh, praise the Lord.
Brown has been a school crossing guard for 11 years.
Wait just 1 minute. Wait 1 minute. Come on, baby.
And it's what she does while on the job that makes her so unforgettable.
I wave and do a little dancing.
Every morning and every evening, with a whistle,
Y'all come on, sweetie.
honk from drivers,
Be blessed.
her blessing,
How y'all doing this morning? Yeah, praise the Lord.
and that unforgettable dance.
Be blessed.
Brown lights up the streets.
Well, I just want you to know, even a school crossing guard as wonderful as you brings a smile to people's face, and you bring joy to my life. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And like I said, I'm glad that I, had that effect on people.
Tim Harris is a commuter who sees Brown every morning.
There's not a morning that goes by that I don't see her doing this. I noticed one day that I had a smile on my face as I drove by after she waved at me.
Be blessed.
But that smile Harris has after seeing Brown is the exact reason why Brown says she's doing the right thing.
A lot of people say, I be having a bad day, but just by seeing you, no matter rain, sleet, snow, or shine, I makes their morning. They have to stop by and give me hugs and everything.
The Lord's work is what she says keeps her going. About 7 years ago, Brown was driving down Highway 51, the same route she works. That's when she noticed she couldn't recall how she got to her destination. It happened to her for about 2 weeks. She felt her body getting weaker by the day. She had a hard time remembering anything until one day she collapsed at her home. Brown says a large tumor forced her to have a blood transfusion. Doctors were surprised at her survival. So every time you see Miss Brown,
You know how it is getting up in the morning time? People don't want to turn the bed and loose.
be sure to give her a hug, and she'll always send you with her blessing and that infectious smile. And remember her story and the reason why she aims to put that same smile she always has on your face too.
I does the Lord's work. He brought me from death to where I am now, and I cherish every second.